Carlos Nelson with the Kansas City Business Association. And today we have our newest member, Miss Terri Barnes, and she has the Nia Project. And I'm going to let Miss Barnes tell you a little bit about the project. We visited her establishment down in Crown Center early in the week, and we made a little video of her place and the type of garments and apparel that she sells. Without further ado, Miss Barnes.
Hey, Carlos Nelson, thank you for the opportunity to be here. The Nia Project is a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to improve the lives of Black girls and women. And what we've done over the past 7 years is we've primarily focused on adult women through Black Women Get Fit, and we've sponsored and hosted several discussions and conversations that are relative to Black women. And this year, for the first time in the summer of 2024, we decided to turn our attention to girls. And we hosted an 8-week summer camp that was focused on civic engagement and entrepreneurship. And as part of that summer camp, we opened a boutique, which you spoke about as part of my introduction. And so the Beloved Boutique is at Crown Center. We're on the main level, the food court level, and we will be here through October 31st. So if your listeners have not had an opportunity to come and see us, we invite them to come over to Crown Center, 2450 Grand, food court level, and come and visit us at Beloved Boutique.
So going to Black Women Get Fit and the whole thing, the Crown Center, that's like, from my perspective, the Johnny Come Lately. That's the latest thing that you talk about the fit thing, because they did some business with us when this had to be about 6 years ago, when you were doing Get Fit and what have you. And what effect do you think that has had on some of the Black women that you had interacting with? In addition to, you just don't do that. You somewhat bridge some gaps with all these different organizations and so forth. And when I did a little bit of read up on what the heck y'all do, I seen that Kaufman worked with you and some other organization. And I want you to talk about that, because being successful, and you talking about working with young entrepreneurs that y'all have turned your attention to, if they can't see it, it's hard for them to really do it, because you know how I am about all these consultants trying to tell somebody how to do a business, and they've never had a business. So talk about that, if you will, for a minute.
Well, you asked about two different things, and I'm going to take the last thing first because I'll forget. So I want to talk a little bit about the Summer Entrepreneurship Program for girls. So when we decided to get into this space, we didn't do it lightly. We wanted to, we looked around our community and we didn't see anybody else offering a summer school program specifically for girls, because we know that's very important. And we also didn't see anybody focused on entrepreneurship. And so what we know is that Black women are opening new businesses at 4 times the rate of any other demographic: white, Hispanic, Asian. Black women are out there killing the game as far as starting new businesses. But then we are challenged when it comes to financing and some other things. And so for us, it was, even in Kansas City, we now have all of this support for adults who are in business or wanting to open a business. So we thought, let's get ahead of that. Let's take a step back and start introducing young people. Let's get them on the pipeline to do businesses, because this is going to be with technology and all of the ways that people can make money now, our kids have to be savvy in the technology space. They have to be savvy in the entrepreneurship space. And if they never choose to go into entrepreneurship, the thinking and the things that you have to learn to be an entrepreneur will be valuable to them wherever they go. So we decided to open a store where we could really introduce and have them have real hands-on practical experience in dealing with the public, in pricing clothes, in display and setup, the works. And you mentioned Kaufman. We had ProX interns, which Kaufman paid their
Let me cut you
salary.
off. What if tell our audience what ProX is? I'm not familiar with that terminology.
So I think ProX has been around for, I think this was the third year. I might not be exactly right. I think this was the third year for ProX. And it is really an opportunity for young people to get real work experience. So this year, 85 employers came together at the convention center back in March, and over 3,000 students came in to be interviewed and hired the same day. So we were there, the city of Kansas City, Black and Veatch, so just companies across the city that are willing to hire young people and train them and have them in their business for 6 weeks, and Kaufman pays their salary. So it's a win-win for the kids. They have someplace to go. They're learning real world experience. And it's a real win for businesses because Kaufman or ProX is paying their salary. So we were able to hire 4 young ladies at that particular, back in March, because at that time we knew that we would have the boutique. So we hired those 4 young ladies and they came in June 9th and they ran the store.
How many students you
They
have?
We had 4. So
What
we have 4 from ProX, and then we had 2 from our regular program. So there
you
were a
know what
total of 6.
you know what schools they went to per se, or where they were at
Um,
in their life?
yeah, so actually they 2 of them were at least Summit East, I believe. One was Center School District, and I don't recall where the other one,
What?
possibly Raymore,
Mhm.
possibly Raymore. Uh, but we had a great time. They completed the program and they submitted their recommendation, and they won third place and $1,250. They talked about their experience at the Nia Project and working at Beloved, and how they thought that it would be a great idea if schools would invite entrepreneurs in so that young people could see that we have Black creatives here. We have folks that are making jewelry, we have folks that are designing clothes, and the girls were really surprised by that, that we had those kind of folks right here in our own community.
I was impressed when I came into the store. I asked you. I said, "Who the heck designed all of this stuff?" And you told me you did, and that really attests to creativity and things that uh, you really can't uh, feature when you don't own the establishment, and you can't even get a chance to participate so that you can see how it works. And then
Yeah,
that really energizes you to say, especially if I'm a senior in high school or
that's
in college, hey, I seen this can work. And I think I can work something like this.
well. Here's the thing, Mr. Nelson. These young people, they are in business. These girls are doing nails, they're doing hair, they are creating invitations and flyers on Canva, they're baking cookies and they're baking cupcakes. They are in business. But what they don't have is all the trappings around what makes a business successful. So we can get our youngest entrepreneur here at Beloved is 12 years old. She makes earrings. She is our top seller. Now, part of that is because she's 12 years old and everybody loves the story. But her grandmother told me that her self-esteem has gone through the roof. She gets a payment every month. She delivers new product every 2 weeks or whenever we get low on her product. And I've seen it. I've seen the way she is proud and she's trying different things. And that's the ticket, to give these kids something else to focus on, something else to help them know that they can be valuable and be successful. So when the noise comes in, because it will, when that noise starts to come in, I'm hopeful she will be able to say, oh, I'm not doing that because I got a business over here and I got to stay focused. I want to make sure I get my coins. I want to make sure that people continue to call me for my product. And I think that's, that's one of our priorities for this program. We've got to get the noise away from our kids, and we don't have enough programs that get their attention. And Beloved was able to do that this summer.
So your role in the whole thing, how will what do you do? See, talking real talk about leadership, and it's about staff, but a lot of times staff don't see it really as clear as you see it. And
Yeah,
what because all the things that you just talked about, what y'all do, those are the things that I've known you personally for. Like I said, go into some of the other things that get fit, and just uh being a bridge, and a communication skills,
yeah,
all of that uh is on exhibit when you are doing what you do. And when I look at your overall, as you described your mission, uh, and
improve,
this is not
just
telling
improve,
the business.
improve, improve the lives of Black girls and women. It's
Yeah,
as simple as that.
but what I'm saying, this is not telling some of your business, but it is. Uh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
yeah, well, I'm saying I'm always on these consultants about stuff, but you are well traveled, because I know you go to Europe, and you've been here, been there, and 3 or 4 years ago I interviewed your son, and he was at Walton University doing,
Wharton.
yeah,
Wharton.
Walton. Well, Mr. Nelson, I'm
Wharton,
semi-colored.
Wharton
I'm
Business School.
semi-Biden. Give me a pass. I'm on my way out, sis. Give me a
Hey,
pass.
that
So
that's all in our it's all in our pocket. We got to get that right. Wharton Business School.
yeah, and so all of that is mindset. What you've done for your kids, you want to see done for these kids. But
Absolutely.
yeah, all right. Well,
It's,
that's what
it's
I'm.
because because it's possible. And we have to level up the opportunities that we provide these young people. It's not going to be sports. It can't keep being the same thing. We've
Sports and
got to level up
entertainment.
sports and entertainment. And yeah, we love the rappers, we love the music, we love all of that. This is not a diss on any of that. But we've got to begin to shift opportunities into the business space so that people are getting paid for how they think and problems that they solve for the world. That's what we pay money for. You talk about consultants. The reason consultants are so popular is because consultants solve business problems. And oftentimes in our community, when somebody starts a business, it's because they're a great cook, or because they make great t-shirts, or because they know how to create a thing. But what is always the challenge, they know how to make the thing, but they don't understand marketing, they don't understand analytics, they don't understand customer service, they don't know how to measure, they don't know how to price. And so what happens, they start business because they're the great cook, but then you start getting complaints about customer service, or the food takes too long to get to the table, or whatever the things are. And so now we have to take a step back. And we're lucky in Kansas City because we've got all types of support in place now to help entrepreneurs get that rounded support so that they can be more successful in business. And you mentioned me earlier. I'm the opposite. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to make anything. But my 30 years, my 40 years of experience is on the other side, operations. So I don't know how to make a widget, but I know enough about the business to be able to put it together and make it be a successful product. So I've been able to do that through this nonprofit agency.
Yeah, well, Well, we welcome you here at the KCBA. And before we close out, is there anything that you would like to let our audience know? And remember, audience, our membership with the KCBA works somewhat hand in hand with Cascade Media Group. And if you look at 90% of the things that Cascade Media Group publishes and produces is sponsored by the Kansas City Business Association. So it's more than just doing business one on one with each one of our members. It's a much higher goal to make sure that we support one another so that we can provide services for the underserved. And with Cascade Media Group specifically dedicating its energy to giving more exposure to the urban core community, uh, I think it's a worthy goal for any of you businesses that are not members to become a member. And then there's all kinds of perks that is associated with the membership because we do have the media company. And when you understand how important that can be, uh, you can get the big picture. So I'm off my high horse, and Barnes, how about leaving our audience with a little bit of wisdom?
I just appreciate being a part of the team. I look forward to working with Cascade Media Group. I look forward to expanding our reach into the community. We have two really big events coming up that I'd like to share. One is, you mentioned it earlier, our annual Black Women Get Fit event is September 28th at Southeast Community Center. Our guest speaker is Meredith Rose, President and CEO of Cornerstones of Care. And our theme for this year is Be the Healing. So as you know, we will have workshop practitioners doing everything from physical fitness to career development, to faith and spiritual. So anything that you need, we're going to have that day. The other thing that I want to announce is Beloved will be closing our Crown Center location on October 31st. So the entire month of September and October, we will have closeout sales to hopefully move all of our merchandise. We will be on hiatus for a few months and hope to come back in the spring. So it'll be more information as we figure out timing. We definitely will be back, but we will close on October 31st, and we will move from a physical location to an online location, all supported by young people selling these products and continuing to develop their skill set in this social media space.
Well, sounds like a winner to me. I told you, I looked at that video again that we did and pointing out that red dress. The red dress was still in
It's
my
still
mind.
here. It's
Yeah,
still here. You find out what size your daughter wears. Maybe
yeah,
you should, that would be your donation to Beloved if you purchase that dress for her.
yeah. Well, I doubt she can't fit in that, but
Oh,
I thought that that was excellent for certain occasions. And then when you pointed out that black dress, uh, that was a really nice dress. Not, I think I told you my mother was in the fashion industry, so I have
yeah.
a appreciation for uh, and those design. The main thing, a lot of that stuff was designer clothing. That wasn't off the rack, uh, Walmart or even Nordstrom's don't have some of the stuff that was in that store. And the way you
That's a that's a
had
that's a
things,
shout out. I have to shout out Princess Hopkins and Regal Status right here in Kansas City, designed all of those pieces. They were part of her last year's lineup, and she donated all of those pieces to our store.
yeah,
So
well,
shout out to Princess Hopkins.
all right. So as we always close, when you invest in your community, you're really just investing in yourself. Good day.
This is brought to you by Kansas City Business Association, working to improve our community.